What it do, my people? What's good? Back at you with another one. So, I've been kind of sitting back, you know, taking in the loss that we had and listening to different podcasters, the ones that I've been listening to for years. And that's another reason why it be for me so slow to get to my content because as a Cowboys fan, and I listen, I have to listen to I'm so used to getting up listening to what I listen to every day, live shows and stuff like this. So I got to get used to doing it myself, you know. But it's just what I'm used to. Shout out to CFT, Rome. Shout out to Vach, Brian Broadus. Shout out to Mark Holmes, um, Skywalker, um, Foots. Like these are ones that like I'm 45 years old and I've been listening to these guys for years and yeah, but it was a lot to take in, y'all. At first, it was hard for me to digest this loss because we should have won. We literally should have won this game. We shouldn't have lost. We should have won. We had it was pissing me off because it took Matt Eberflus like in the first half. It's like he wasn't figuring it out, and he still didn't do it. And when he tried to do it, he did it with the wrong guy, like Damone Clark. Like we needed to have a QB spy out there. Damone Clark is not it. I think we should have had Maris Leofau doing it. But that's just my take. Um, the only weakness, well, I ain't gonna say the only weakness, but the main weakness that I did see on defense were the linebackers. Like they looked like they was just out of there, especially Kenneth Murray. I him he took on the gap one time where he was just he shouldn't have, and it took out Sanborn. Like I'm looking at him, and he looked so confused out there. He looked on one of Saquon's touchdowns. He sees Saquon and he hesitating. He just sitting there, no reaction or anything. So he looked at real confused out there. He looked at real confused out there. One thing about it, people can say what they want to say. The run defense was so much better. It was so much better. Yeah, Saquon got 60 some yards. I said on my last show that I didn't think he was going to get 100 yards rushing. He didn't get 100 yards rushing. Yeah, Jalen Hurts got his yards, but Saquon had, I think, his second lowest yards per average at 3.3. And if you think about it, and like I said before, Micah is a great pass rusher. But if we hadn't made that trade, Kenny Clark wouldn't be here. Kenny Clark is a big reason that Saquon rush yards was at 60 yards. He's a big reason. I'm trying to tell y'all, he changed his whole D tackle room. Kenny Clark did. He changed his whole D tackle room. And I think our D ends will be better throughout the season. With Donovan, he's a rookie. Dante Fowler did some things that he gonna have to fix. He gonna have to work on. If not, Marshawn Nealon, he's gonna end up starting. Why? Because he's a smart DN and he's a better run stopper at the end. Kind of like how D-Law was. Yeah. Dante Fowler, instead of him standing on the outside with rushing, he tried to come in on kind of like what they were saying about what's his name, Charles Jones for Kansas City. The reason him and Drew got into it, because he took that inside leverage when he should have stayed on the outside, which caused Justin Herbert to run out on the outside, and that killed the game when he did that. So I think those are things that Eberflus can work on. I don't think it's hard. I think he'll fix it. But I mean, if you're not gonna bring another pass rusher in, then I think the starters at D end, the whole D line, I think the starters should be Marshawn Nealon, Osa, Kenny Clark, and Sam Williams. I think that's our best starting D line right now because of how they worked. Kenny Clark was pushing mofos back. I'm telling you, backwards. And if he wasn't pushing them backwards, he took up whole space because he wasn't moving. They couldn't push him. They couldn't push him at all. He wasn't budging. He wasn't budging at all. But if we had the right linebackers to come in behind it, Saquon wouldn't even saw the yards that he saw. And if the Marion Overshawn was there, then Jalen Hurts wouldn't have got the yards he got when he rushed. Like, people, I'm trying to tell you, trading Micah was probably the best thing that we've done in a while. I said this on my last show. Trading Micah was probably the best thing we've done in a while. Why? Because we was able to get something that we've needed for the longest. We tried to draft it, didn't work. We really needed it. So by now that we have a true one-tech D tackle who can play all across the line, really, it's going to allow these other defensive linemen they got to step up and play their part. Because running up the middle is not, that's a no-go. It ain't happening. It ain't happening at all. Period. And they say that if Micah Parsons was there, then Jalen Hurts would. Probably so. Jalen Hurts probably wouldn't have did all that. But guess what? Saquon would have had 160 yards rushing on us. Point blank. Why? Because eventually, if Kenny Clark wasn't on the team, that means Mozzie probably was going to get some playing time. Wasn't going to work. Wasn't going to work at all. Solomon Thomas, he's a better version of Mozzie. But, Kenny Clark. That's the thing. He's not a Kenny Clark. Hey, the secondary stood up. Kudos. They stood up. They did their thing. A.J. Brown, 1 catch for 8 yards. 1 catch for 8 yards. And Smith, I think he had 3 catches for 16, 18 yards? No touchdowns. I think Johan Dotson, he had the longest play that they had the whole game. And either him or Goddard, even with just that one play, I think either him or Goddard was the leading receiver. If we had some linebackers, though, Goddard caught some passes, and I saw Kenneth right there. And I don't know what he's looking at. I don't know what he was looking at. Kenneth Murray will have to step up. I don't know what he was looking at. But he's going to have to step up. I told y'all on my last show, I'm not worried about these Cowboys. The defense is going to be better, and the defense was better. The defense was better. The offense, oh my gosh. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Dak played like he was on a mission. Dak made some great throws. He was out there. He was out there making great throws. I'm telling y'all. And if it wasn't for CeeDee Lamb dropping the passes that he dropped, CeeDee Lamb probably would have hit over 200 yards receiving. Hands down. Hands down. So, like I said, I'm telling y'all, this is a different team. Trayvon Diggs came in and played great. He should have made that sack, though. He was a little hesitant on that sack. DeRon Bland was a little hesitant on that sack, on that corner blitz. Like, they a little hesitant. Donovan Wilson would have laid Jalen Hurts out. Would have laid him out. No questions asked. But what I need them to do, hold down the fort until Demarion Overshown's come back. When Demarion Overshown come back, gonna be totally different. Totally different. Like I said, I still stick with this team will go 12-5. That ain't gonna change. I still think we're going 12-5. I'm just saying. Our X factors. I told y'all the X factors are the coaches. Yeah, the players got to play, but the X factors are the coaches. It's all about how the coaches call the game. It's all about how the coaches call the game. And Shotty was in his bag. You know how long it's been since I've seen the Cowboys come down and score on their first drive? Not just a touchdown, not a field goal. Score a touchdown on their first drive. Not just their first drive, their second drive. They scored on their first 4 drives with 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals. But it's been a while since you've seen the Cowboys score a touchdown on the very first drive of the game. Long time. Shotty was in his bag. He was in his bag. And to some, the Cowboys might not have been as physical as the 49ers has been, or has the Lions have been. I'm gonna tell you something. This was the most physical I've seen in Dallas in a very, very, very long time. Defensively and offensively, when I say that, what do I mean? I'm talking about this D line, and I'm talking about this offensive line. They was physical. They played physical. They was on their shit. They were. They were. And to anybody who think that the Cowboys wasn't different, they're all the way different. Not just defensively, offensively. But on offense, I think we should sit Miles Sanders down and let him go and just roll with Jadon Blue. There's no way you should have let a linebacker catch you like that. I'm sorry. Screw the fumble, because that hurt us too. But the fact that you allow a linebacker to catch you, no. Come on, man. That man came all the way from the other side of the field to catch you. I'm talking about, he looked like he was Flash out there. And Zach Bond ain't that fast. He be trying to catch a running back who's miles ahead of him. Gone. The man hawked his man down. Yeah. And that's my only thing. That run that he did look like the last 2 years of Zeke. It ain't there no more. It ain't there no more. Let's put them good fresh legs out there with Jadon Blue. Come on now. We got to. We got to. We got to. But kudos to the defense. kudos to the coaches. Like I said, the coaches are the X factors. They was going. I knew they were going to be the ones to set the tone in the game based off their play calling. That's all I've been talking about. That's all I've been talking about. That they are the X factors. Yeah, like I said, the players got to play, but it's these coaches. Shotty came out. Oh, when I tell you, I wish he had a little bit more running back screens. He could even threw in a few wide receiver screens, but I think they setting it up for different little stuff that they got going. But yeah, I think running back screens would have been good if he had threw those in. I was thinking about getting George Pickens on a wide receiver screen, get him going. We didn't use him as much, but I think that it was about Shotty looking for the mixed matches. They was oh my gosh, they was seeking Adoree Jackson. They was seeking him. And the last pass, George Pickens had space on Quinion Mitchell quite a few times. That last pass to CeeDee Lamb was on Quinion Mitchell. It was on Quinion Mitchell. If I'm not mistaken, it was on Quinion Mitchell. I might be wrong. But that's Quinion Mitchell's side. It was either on Quinion Mitchell or Cooper DeJean. But when him and George Pickens crossed, I think that was on Quinion Mitchell. And he should have caught that pass. CeeDee Lamb, man. And I was wearing a CeeDee Lamb jersey. Boy. Those drops was very uncharacteristic of CeeDee. Was very I'm talking about like to be honest. To be honest, those drops and that fumble, if we hadn't a fumble, we was gonna score a touchdown. I don't see it no other way. We was on the road. They hadn't stopped us. We hadn't punted the ball. And thanks to Dak, who saved the touchdown, because if not, he was gone. But I'm telling y'all, this team is different. They show a lot of they showed a lot of different shit this game. Only thing about it, like when they go into motion, like Kevontae Turpin, he did, but when they go into motion, I need to see more like running hard when they go in motion. I don't see it with CeeDee Lamb. I saw it with Kevontae Turpin, but it was like when CeeDee Lamb did it, it was like he was going in slow motion. But maybe it's just me. Maybe that's just me nitpicking. But I like the play calling. I love the play calling. And I think Shotty got a whole lot more in his bag. I'm telling y'all, this is a different team. And one of my partners, he a Giants fan. So he called me after the game talking about some, so you believe in CD now? So is the CD that got now? And it pissed me off. I said, ask me next week. Ask me that question next week. And see how this go. Ask me have that same energy next week when we play the Giants. Let's see how you roll in. I ain't going to hear from him. And if I do, it ain't going to be about the game. Man, you seen that new movie that came out? I don't want to talk about no goddamn movie. Man, you tasted them new snacks that just came out yet. Man, I don't want to talk about no goddamn snacks. Let's talk about CD and what he did to your ass. That's what we going to talk about. I don't want to talk about no movie. I don't want to talk about no snacks. I don't want to talk about none of that. Let's talk about what CD did to your ass. I'm telling y'all. I know how this is going to go. Because it's not going to have that same energy come next week after we play the Giants. Period. But I'm telling y'all, I get a lot of flack as being a Cowboy fan. A lot of it. Lot of it. Lot of it. I got 2 Eagles fans in my circle. I got 2 Giants fans in my circle. I got me as a Cowboy fan. And my guy Jason, he's a Cowboy fan. My father-in-law, he's a Cowboy fan. Everybody else against the Cowboys. You got Bears, you got 49ers, you got Eagles. Yeah, they had the Cowboys, man. We ain't did none of these folk. But they hate us so much. And they don't realize that's what makes us America's team. Because you either love us or you hate us. They talk about us every day. Why they still asking about Micah to the players in the locker room is crazy. Micah's gone. Sam Williams said it best. I'll give you his number. You can call him. Don't ask me about that, man. Should be worried about what's going on in this locker room. I'm worried about myself. That's what Sam Williams said. Man, stop it. Micah's gone. And I'm guaranteeing you that Green Bay run defense is not gonna be good. Micah might go get 50 sacks in the season, win Defensive Player of the Year. Kudos. But all that is showing me is that the same defense that Dallas had when we had it, it's the same defense that Green Bay gonna have. Period. If you think for once that Green Bay is finna go win a Super Bowl, you got your rapid mind. You're crazy. They're not finna win the Super Bowl. They too got rid of some key players. With Jair Alexander and Kenny Clark being 2 of them. Just like I said about the Eagles are not the same team. They got rid of some key players. Josh Sweat was 1. How many sacks did the Eagles get? Why these Eagles fans talking like you should sit back and look at your team and be like, look, something wrong. That's why they went and signed Zadarius Smith. That's why they did that. They couldn't get a sack. They couldn't get a sack at all. That's why they signed him. Now they talking about going to sign Stephon Gilmore. Oh well, go sign him. Your defense still is not going to be the same. It's not. Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, Darius Slay. Come on now. CJ Garner, Isaiah Rodgers. Come on now. It's not the same. It's not the same. And to be honest, Kenneth Gainwell was a good backup to Saquon. Good backup to Saquon. He was. But hey, they think they still got it. That's a whole totally different team. And Kenny Clark just fucking Landon Dickerson out. He already was having a back problem. Man, I watched so many plays where this man pushed them all the way down there back into Jalen Hurts. Kenny Clark is that he a beast, bro. He's a beast. I saw something where whenever he was on the field, the Eagles rushed the ball for 2.8 yards. That was their average whenever Kenny Clark was on the field. When he was out the field, his average was 6.6. That's a big difference. Not only is a Kenny Clark a beast, he make Osa better. Facts. And y'all think we ain't gonna get no sacks? Man, that shit coming. We played against what they say the number 1 offensive line in the league. That's what they call them. The number one offensive line in the league. They didn't get one sack on us, but we got a sack on them. The Eagles are not the same team. They are not going to win the NFC East. They are not going to win the Super Bowl. Whenever we blitz, Jalen Hurts looked lost out there. When he's throwing the ball away. We should have did it in the first half, but we didn't. It was a totally different story when we blitzed them in the first half. And I mean in the second half. And we, like I said, we should have had a QB spy. And Dante Fowler and Sam Williams, especially Dante Fowler, we got to do it better in the containment of Jalen Hurts. And do not ever have Damone Clark out there spying, because he ain't it. He ain't it. He ain't it. We should have had Marriage Learfield out there. We should have had him. He should have been more out there. Period. I'm telling y'all, this team is different. And I'm sticking to it. 12-5. 12-5. 12-5. Me watching this game made it even more better for me. I'm telling y'all, 12-5. The defense is going to get better. And I wouldn't put it past Jerry if he didn't do something before the trade deadline, because there's a big possibility. But then again, he never does it, not with nothing major anyway. But I wouldn't put him past him with 4 first-round draft picks within the next 2 years. So, hey, he got rid of Micah. So anything possible at this point in time. Kudos to Javonte Williams. Kudos. You ran your ass off. Running over, motherfucker. You ran your ass off. Kudos, bro. Kudos to Tyler Guyton. Kudos to Tyler Guyton. Throwing left hooks, everything. Kudos. Tyler Booker, kudos. That whole offensive line, you get kudos. Because when everybody said that they probably, they had us getting blowed out in this game. They had the Cowboys getting blowed out in this game. Wasn't going to even make it through the game. But the real thing about it, the Eagles was playing catch-up the whole game until Miles Sanders fumbled the ball. The Eagles were playing catch-up until Miles Sanders fumbled the ball. They couldn't stop us. I think that was our 5th drive. Was it the 5th drive? Well, no, that was coming from halftime. Yeah. We didn't do our first punt until what, the 4th quarter? 3rd quarter? Yeah. After we came back from the delay, our first punt came after we came back from the delay. They couldn't stop us, bruh. They couldn't stop us. So they was playing catch-up because we scored first. They was playing catch-up the whole game. But I would have, coming back from the delay, once we came back from that delay, they had the ball from that fumble. They did not score. So, what I would have done, I would have ran the ball down their fucking throats. I would have ran down their throat. Come see me. I'm just saying, they couldn't stop us. They couldn't stop us. I'd have ran the ball the first 2 downs. Then I sent, because they were playing, They was playing mostly. They played the man and they was playing zone because they was dropping everybody back in coverage. Everybody. They was dropping everybody back in coverage. They was on the rushing forward. They started blitzing in the fourth quarter, I think. But they started blitzing then. Man, I would have been running down their throat and held CD Lamb, George Pickens going quick slants. Quick slants. You get a first down and ran it down their throat. They couldn't stop us. And whatever we did, they couldn't stop us. They couldn't stop us. And if it wasn't for certain drop passes or drop touchdowns or fumbles, and to be honest with you, coming off that weather delay, we should have been up because we should have scored a touchdown. Period. We would have been running away with the game. We would have ran away with the game because the momentum still would have been on our side. They had a little of the momentum because of Miles Sanders' fumble. So they had a little momentum. But if we had if he had never fumbled that ball and we had scored, we would have had all the momentum. They wouldn't have been able to stop us. They weren't able to stop us the whole night. The whole night. CeeDee Lamb would have hit over 200 yards receiving. I'm quite sure they would have got George Pickens more involved. What they should have done from the beginning. He had 4 targets, 3 catches for 30 yards. Now we got to make them fear us. We got to make them fear us. Dak passed it to like 9 different receivers, but we got to make them fear us. That's why Jadon Blue got to come. You got to dress out Jadon Blue. Don't ever do that again, Shotty. Don't ever do that again. Miles Sanders over him? No. And another thing. I can't stress this enough. Another thing. Flournoy should be starting over Tolbert. He's a better blocker. He's a better route runner. And he's a better catcher. And he can play on special teams. Jalen Tolbert ain't it. We done gave him too many years to show himself. Yeah, he led the team in touchdowns last year. That's not good enough. Come on now. Come on now. I think he led the team with what, six or seven touchdowns. He led the team. I think it was 6 if I'm not mistaken. But he not it, bruh. His blocking is terrible. His run blocking is terrible. He don't block worth for nothing. Let's put Ryan Flournoy in and watch him work. Tolbert ain't it. And I think Mingo would have he would have been, instead of Tolbert, Mingo would be starting over Tolbert as a slot receiver if he wasn't hurt. Because of how he plays. He's more physical. Tolbert, no, he's not it. He's not it. So let's bring Flournoy over there in that slot. Dress out Jadon Blue. And work on this. If these linebackers can step up any kind of way, and these defensive ends get more pressure than what they did, watch us work. Watch us work. I'm telling y'all, we different this year. We way different this year. 12-5 is where we going. All right, y'all. I'm out. Catch me back again on tomorrow. Peace.